Hello everyone and welcome to Common Man Linux. And as you all know, Common Man Linux is my Linux awareness channel where I tell you basic things about Linux and I tell you how a office going person, how a common person, how a regular day-to-day life user can use Linux as a personal computer. Today's topic of our video is things to check before switching from Windows to Linux. If you are watching this video, I can guess that you want to switch from Windows to Linux, and mostly you will be switching from Windows 10 to Linux because Windows 10 support has ended, and Windows 10 users are now coming to Linux. And if you are switching to Linux, I can assume that you will be switching to Linux Mint. What I will recommend you should switch to is the LMD 7 Gigi. And okay, remember, even if you switch to Linux Mint or you switch to NMD 7 Gigi, the steps, the instructions are completely the same. Just the thing is, if you are a gamer, then the regular Linux Mint would be better for you. And if you are an office going person, casual gamer, not doing any much gaming work, then NMD would be better. And my recommendation would be NMD for regular users. What things you should remember, what things you should check before you switch from Windows to Linux. You have to remember that when you will switch from Windows to Linux, your home ecosystem, your home environment, your home way of functioning will change. Okay, so you have to keep an idea that you will have a learning curve. You will have to learn some things, very basic things. You have to learn that how files work and all that, and how alternative softwares are there. So the first thing you should remember, you should check is that when you switch from Windows to Linux, you should back up all your files. If you don't know, Windows uses a completely proprietary filing system. Windows uses a completely private filing system only used in Windows, and the name of that filing system is NTFS, which is the Windows own filing system, and mostly the Windows only filing system. NTFS you will not find in Mac OS or Linux. Though Linux supports NTFS, that's not to worry. But the thing is, Windows, whether it be Windows 10 or 11, it does not support ext4, the Linux filing system out of the box. So your filing system will change from NTFS to ext4, the common filing system used on Linux. So you have to understand that. And what will change? You may ask that what will change if it goes from NTFS to ext4. The main thing which will change is that you will not have any C drive, E drive, D drive. Like E drive, not an alphabetical drive. Like when I open the file manager, I don't have any E drive, D drive. Nothing. Even if I go to file system, there is slash. Slash is the main root filing system. Above that, nothing else like E, D, A, B, C, D, E, F, G is not there. So there you will just have partitions. If I go to disks, yeah, disks. If I go and you can see in my 1.0 TB hard disk, I have two partitions. The first name is hard disk new. That is one partition. In Windows, you will call it as a D drive, maybe any alphabet. And the another partition 3 I have, you will call it as E drive, D and E drive. But in Linux, you just have partitions that you have to remember. Now in devices, I have two. One, this is my hard disk new, as you can see up here, and the second is hard disk space, and it is just labeled with the name of your drive. So just that's it, you have to remember. And if it is not auto mounting disks, just click it, and you can click on the setting button and edit mount option, and it will, the user session default will be turned on. You have to turn it off, and nothing you have to do else. You have to just click on identify as label, which is the hard disk new, the partition you have made, and then your your partitions will automatically get mounted and shown up here. And you will just see mounted drives. If you plug a pen drive, you will just see mounted drives. Data you have to shift to a new file system. That's it. So the second thing you have to remember, my last video was on this topic only, which is that you will have four different package managers to install apps, because app images are not that much used. You have three types of packaging formats for applications that you have to remember is the Flatpak, Snap, and system packages. And in most of the, if you come to NMD or Linux Mint, you will not have Snap. Snap you have to install additionally. Otherwise, Flatpak and system packages you will already have. But don't worry about that. My recommendation would be just install app from the Mint software store. And I would recommend that whenever you install from Flatpak. Don't it's my personal recommendation that don't use system package much, because I have experienced that in NMD, especially in NMD, the system packages actually crash sometimes because they are very older packages. They don't have newer bug fixes. So I have experienced that when I was using the LibreOffice Deb packaged version, the by which came by default, it crashed. And so now I am using the LibreOffice Flatpak version. These are the Flatpaks. That is why. So, and Flatpaks give you security. It is a containerized format. So prefer installing from Flatpak because it comes by default in Linux Mint. If Flatpak is not working properly, you can install system package, but it will be a little older, and Flatpaks will just have latest updates and a little larger file size, which if you have fairly good amount of storage will not matter. Now the third thing, check how many of the apps you use work on Linux and what are the alternative if some app is not available. And yes, this is a very important point. You should listen carefully and remember that the apps, if you are dependent on apps like Photoshop, if you are dependent on any Adobe ecosystem apps, that will not be available. And if you are dependent on Microsoft Office, it will not be available. You will have to change your ecosystem of apps. You will have to change the apps you use. You will not get all apps which work. You will get the alternative apps. If you want, you can use the online version of Microsoft Office, but it will have some less features. You have to learn LibreOffice, and LibreOffice I have told you how to make it tabbed layout. You have to do, and you have to change. You have to do the what in Word save. You have to change the format to .docx because by default it comes with ODT format. So that is about the alternative software. And if you are using Photoshop, you can use GIMP. Flatpak here. Flatpak GIMP is the original. Is the developed by the GIMP team. You have to switch from Photoshop to GIMP. And then there is not only GIMP. There is also a software called Inkscape, which you can learn. Inkscape Flatpak. Yeah. So it is for vector graphics. And then you have Blender for like making 3D animations, and Windows users also use Blender. Whoever makes a 3D animated movie, like on Blender, you can make 3D animated movies like Frozen. There is some movie called Frozen. There are some characters like Elsa and some movies are coming like Zootopia and that like animated movie like Smurfs movie, Minions. You know that Minions yellow type colors people. Yeah, Minions are also like made in Blender. So Blender is very interesting. It's very advanced. Yeah, you just have to switch to that apps. So now the next most important is hardware drivers. Now you have to listen this also very carefully. You have, if before installing Linux, check which laptop you have, which brand laptop you have, and not just the brand, what internal components it have. If you have NVIDIA graphics card or AMD graphics card, or you have Intel integrated graphics card, or which type of graphics you have. If you have to check if which brand of hardware you have. Is it like well known supported brands? and which type of Bluetooth and Wi-Fi adapters you have. You have to check. If you have made a custom built PC, then you have to check. Then you have to remember that prefer not using the NVIDIA graphics. It can work, but you have to do some manual configurations. So even if your hardware is of NVIDIA, you have to manually download and install the NVIDIA drivers, and it will work. Okay, and other hardwares, if you have AMD, Intel graphics, integrated graphics, Intel, any generation of Intel processors, even if you have the newer AI chips like NPUs, everything will work if it is from Intel or AMD. But NVIDIA causes little issues, but it still works. And the next is what I have experienced, that TP-Link Wi-Fi adapters work very good with Linux. They are good quality, but still cheaper and at a reasonable price. And the next thing you have to remember is that buy good quality hardware. If you are installing Linux, you should not have very cheap hardware. Like you should have good brand laptops. Like if you are using Linux, buy Lenovo, the ThinkPad I am using, or HP, Dell, and Asus, etc., which have good enterprise grade support, and they are like global brands, so you will not get any much driver issues. And the next is prefer Dell laptops and desktop, because the Dell is known. Dell has a past of supporting Linux very well. So if you have Dell laptop, Dell pre-built PCs, you are all fine. You will not have any driver issues. So the best thing is, don't worry much. Just plug your live boot USB, and you just check if your Wi-Fi is working, if your Bluetooth is working, and even if it is not working, don't worry. You check the driver manager. You see if any private proprietary drivers are available for Linux, and they are mostly available. Proprietary driver is also not available. Open source driver is also not available. Your hardware might not work, so you have to check first. Most of the hardware in the world work with Linux. My ThinkPad is working. Your HP laptop, Dell laptop, everything is working. Even my MacBook Air 2017 is working with Linux. Now, this is worth mentioning that there are some fingerprint scanners which do not work on Linux. My ThinkPad has a small fingerprint scanner, and that scanner was working on Windows, but it is not working on Linux. And I am okay with that. Rarely it happens, very rarely it happens that one hardware is not working, but I am okay with that. I don't use fingerprint scanner and prefer not using fingerprint scanners or face unlock on Linux. Linux is not designed for face ID or fingerprint scanner. It is designed to type your own password. For your security, it is recommended to type your own password. And the next very important thing, be aware that there is a terminal. Click Control on key, there is a terminal, and which it is not made to scare you. Even if my channel says that I will not use terminal much, that I am doing only for your convenience, that you should know that there are graphical ways. Otherwise, Linux works best with terminal. If you just type sudo app update and you type your password, and you will see some lines. Don't worry about these are just repositories. These are just servers from where your updates are coming. These are the update servers, the Debian update servers, because my system is LMD Debian based. If you want to install deb packages, you can just write sudo apt install GIMP, Audacity, everything, Firefox. You just type GIMP, Audacity, Firefox, software, this, that, press enter, and everything will get installed. So terminal makes your life very easy. You use your laptop for your office work, but slowly, with your office work, you slowly start learning terminal. Don't neglect terminal. Just have a little curiosity that okay, this is something which is very powerful on Linux. This is something which like we have to use responsibly also, and it is something which makes your life easier. graphically you have to go to software manager, then click or then wait for it to load, then click on the application, then click on the install. Rather than that, if you just do sudo apt install GIMP, your work is done. So the next thing is always keep backup, and you will have a tool called Timeshift, which is pre-installed on Linux. So I will tell you when we do a post-installation video of Linux Mint. Timeshift is something which, like, even if you type some wrong command in the terminal, or your system breaks, you can restore your system. Remember, the time shift is not for restoring your personal files. Time shift is there to restore your root system. Next thing is, this is completely my personal point, which I am telling you. You can follow my point or you cannot follow. Is that prefer pure Debian based systems like the NMD I am using, because I have experience, just my experience, that using pure Debian keeps your system cool. It does not let it heat. Even as I am working so much on this ThinkPad, it is recording. Still, my if I touch my ThinkPad, it is not heating. Yeah, my ThinkPad is very cool. I have touched it and it is very cool. Even if I am recording this production video. When I say pure Debian, I don't say that new users should directly jump into Debian 13, GNOME version, KDE version, Cinnamon version. No, I am saying use Linux Mint Debian edition. LMD. Don't prefer using Ubuntu based system, because they have some kernel optimizations which heat up your PC. And then next we have gaming. So gaming is very good on Linux thanks to Steam. Steam has made Linux very good for gaming, and most of your games now work on Steam with Proton, their compatibility layer. So even if a game is not supported on Linux, it can run the Windows only version on Linux. But still, some games like, let me tell you, all gaming on Steam will work very good on Linux. If you are a hardcore gamer, still you can use Linux. But remember that some games like Fortnite or Valorant, very rare games, do not work on Linux, even with the Proton compatibility layer. Okay, Fortnite and Valorant not working is not a Linux problem. It is the game developer's mindset. So only these two games and some other rare games have problems. Other than that, all games work good on Linux. There are very big games which natively support Linux. So that games are like that games work like a charm on Linux. So now Linux is becoming the hub of gaming. One very important thing I just forgot. Yeah, I have written here that Fedora workstation, the GNOME edition of Fedora can be better for gaming, or the Steam OS, or any Arch based or Fedora based distributions are better for gaming. There is also gaming specific Linux OS called Bazite, which is the best for gaming. It is also Fedora based, and Bazite is the next generation of Linux gaming. So you can use Bazite like hands down. You can use Bazite without worrying about anything. So Bazite comes pre-installed with Steam. So you can play all the Steam games on Bazite. Bazite or Fedora, or you can, if you are very technical, you can use Endeavor OS or Steam OS. Avoid MMD and like some Ubuntu based distributions and Debian based distributions, because the dependency is very old on Linux Mint and Ubuntu. And I forgot to write, if you still want to game on Linux Mint, use the regular Ubuntu based Mint. If you can also game on Debian edition, the NMD, but I would not recommend to game on NMD because it's very home based. Debian is very stable but older than Ubuntu. The last thing I want to say that don't worry. If some problem comes, you can learn to fix things by yourself on Linux. If you did something wrong, if something wrong happened by chance from the the OS developer. If something happened on Linux now, as your personal computer, rather than calling a technician, you fix things yourself. If there is an institution which is using Linux on many computers, at that time they will have some Linux technician, like the Bombay High Court or Supreme Court, where they use Linux, they will have Linux technicians. But for your personal Linux computer, technician will not come. You can fix everything. Linux is easy. You just follow commands and everything will get fixed. If you run the right command, only run the command which is given in a trusted website. Don't run commands from untrusted websites. Run, like, if I check how to install Snap on Linux, is that Snapcraft? They are the official websites. Only run commands from official websites. Installing Snap on Linux Mint, you just you have to follow this and that. So that's it. Follow from the official sites. Like I will tell you, it's FOSS. It's FOSS is a good website from where you can run the commands. It's a very trusted Linux website. Run the commands they say, like the official website says. So its FOSS is very trusted, or the official Flatpak website, or like that. So that's all about today's video. I think the main thing is you have to check the drivers before installing Linux. You have to check the hardware, not the drivers. Check the hardware and first search. Do a research that does that hardware work on Linux properly. If it is a NVIDIA or some proprietary Wi-Fi drivers, search about the alternative software. Search about what is going to change when you install Linux. You see, my system is working very good. I don't have to fix anything. So I hope you like this video. I hope you will use Linux as a gamer also. I hope you will you will switch to Linux after watching this video. Just have knowledge. That's it. Thanks for watching this video. I am Kabir. We will meet you in the next video with some new topics. Goodbye.